Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your daily forecast for the day of Saturday, February 10th, 2018. Now what's going on today is that we have the moon hanging out right here in Sagittarius, bringing our attention, of course, to doing new things that we have not done before, adventuring, exploring, traveling, also learning new things, and just trying to make sense of your life to understand it better. Okay, so that's what we're thinking about today with the moon being in Sagittarius. All right, around midnight last night and into this morning, the moon was in Sagittarius in a sextile here with the sun in Aquarius. I want to say really giving us an opportunity here to get more clarity about our life, about where we see our life going, and perhaps to envision our life in new and different ways that we had not thought of previously. Okay, to kind of see a new future for ourselves. All right, so I think that's what was going on at last night and into today. All right, and that's going to stay with us for most of the morning, where we're just kind of thinking about our life and where our life is going. Then at 10 a.m., as the moon moves further through Sagittarius, it then comes into a trine here with Uranus and Aries. Okay, and that can bring some unexpected things that do occur at 10 a.m. Perhaps something new, an unexpected new thing that you were not planning on comes up in some way. Yeah, that has to do with you and who you are. Okay, and that can happen. I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing because I do like Sagittarius. I think Sagittarius is a very lucky sign since it's ruled by Jupiter. Does tend to bring good things to you, but it definitely could feel a little bit uncomfortable whatever unexpected thing does occur, because after that happens at noon Mountain Time, the moon then comes into a square with Chiron and Pisces. Okay, so whatever unexpected thing may come up, it could be an insight, like an unexpected insight, the way that you think about life, or it could be something that happens to you that's new, that hasn't, you've never done before. And I think as a result of this unexpected thing, when the moon comes into a square with Chiron at noon, we're feeling maybe uncomfortable about our life. We're feeling uncertain about it. Again, there's some new thing that we have not done before, like that's pulling us out of our comfort zone that we don't know about. Or maybe there's something from our past, an old way of living, an old way of doing things as well, that's hard for us to just break out of our shell here, to put ourselves out there. And I think that's maybe what is the main thing going on today. All right, is that we have this, we're starting to get more insights, we're starting to get more clarity on our life, some unexpected things come up helping us to do something new, make sense of our life in new and different ways, and then it just feels uncomfortable because we have not done it before, or it takes us out of our comfort zone. All right, so I think that's what's going on. Then after that, at 8 o'clock at night Mountain Time, the moon then enters Capricorn. Okay, and after we've had this like kind of playful, like new exploratory vibe the past few days, then when the moon moves into Capricorn, it gets more serious. Moon doesn't necessarily like being in Capricorn because it's opposite Cancer, okay, which is its home sign. So when we get the moon in Capricorn, things then become very serious, very dedicated about where your life is going and about the direction your life is going in, and about how things can happen in the right way to get you to where you want to be in. Okay, so I think there could be some restriction coming in at the nighttime with the moon in Capricorn, as you're trying to envision, okay, now that I've done some new things more or less these past few days, and now that I've tried to make sense of my life in new and different ways, how can I take all this new stuff and how can I use it for the best to put me in the right place that it is that I want to go in. And I think that could be coming up at 8 p.m. at night, just feeling a little bit restricted about some things. Okay, I don't know if I necessarily see it being too bad, because about the same time that the moon does move into Capricorn, it then makes a very pretty sextile over to Venus, which actually is just going to move into the first degree here of Pisces today. And I think what's going to go on is, as you're starting to focus here on building your life and on using some new things that have come up in some way, and really using them to create the life that you want, I think what's going to happen around 8 p.m. with the sextile to Venus is that there could be an opportunity here to start to feel more comfortable about your life in some way, and to really begin to hopefully feel much better internally and spiritually about what is going on and overcome some things from the past that are holding you back. Okay, as to where maybe at the beginning of the day there were lots of new things going on that were uncomfortable, that were that were different from you, that were taking you out of your comfort zone. I think as we move towards the end of the day, as you start to think more seriously and more matter-of-factly about life with the moon in Capricorn, I think what happens is that some of that discomfort that you had earlier perhaps starts to go away, because you're starting to think more seriously about things and pay more attention to your spiritual needs and your internal needs, and you're starting to make some of the moves to feel more comfortable inside with yourself. Okay, so that's what I think is going on. Yeah, normally a moon in Capricorn is not the best. I still don't know if this will be the best one, but I do think that the sextile to Venus at night is going to smooth it over and is going to help you here do the things you need to start to feel more comfortable internally and put your life in a better spot after you've been out of your comfort zone for the past few days. Okay, so that's what I see going on there, and that's the last aspect that the moon is going to make today until it comes over a conjunction with Saturn tomorrow. And that again can make us very serious tomorrow, dedicated, again feeling a little bit more restricted going on coming in. But I think what we're trying to figure out the next few days going into the next horoscope here is we're just trying to figure out how we can put our life in the right place and what it is that we need to do, I think, to break through some old patterns, to have a better life and to feel more comfortable about our life. And I think in the next day or so with the moon in Capricorn and tomorrow with the moon on top of Saturn, we're really trying to, I want to say, make the moves to do what needs to be done, even if it's uncomfortable here, to be more comfortable in some way. And I think taking care of all the big picture stuff in life is then going to clear up any of the confusion that maybe we have inside. Okay, yeah, I think that's what's going to go in there. All right, I'm gonna leave that with you. Now, stuff that's going on in the background here. We do have Venus entering Pisces today, which I like. Okay, Venus actually is exalted in Pisces. It likes Pisces a lot. Okay, so I think anything that may have been hard with relationships and with money, the past few days, especially as Venus was in a square here with Jupiter and in a sextile with Uranus, any hard things that came up with relationships and with money, I think are going to start to smooth out a little bit. They're going to start to get a little bit better here. I think you're going to start to feel like you can get more in tune with your relationships in a lot of ways. You can connect more with people on an emotional level that feels more comfortable going on now that Venus is in Pisces. And I think maybe you had to make some of these hard cuts here in life and have some of these hard conversations with the people in your life and make some big changes in relationships and with money so that you could start to feel better now. And I think now that all that stuff is done and all that's taken care of, you're going to start to feel more comfortable emotionally with where your life is at with relationships and with money now that some of the other stuff is said and done. Okay, and I think Venus in Pisces is going to be really positive to help you start to hopefully begin to feel more comfortable with where things are going just in life if you haven't recently. Okay, so we've got that going on there. What else we have is the sun coming into an exact square with Jupiter today. So even though I think we're feeling more comfortable about relationships here and about money with Venus moving into Pisces, there could still be some uncomfortable things that are coming up with you and your identity. You know, maybe all the hard stuff with relationships has been worked out and money, but now it's like you need to get on board with all of those changes that you've made recently to your relationships and to your finances and to your life, you know, and you need to make sure that you process it, you know, as a whole and as who you are, and you need to catch up to all of these other things that have gone on to you lately. And so I think that's what could be coming in today, is the same changes that your relationships and your money went through recently. Now it's finally setting in. Now it's finally hitting you like, oh yeah, like I had like all this intense stuff just like happened to me recently, like tons of changes in money, tons of changes in relationships, and now, right, you're actually having to transform yourself to meet these changes that have occurred recently. Coming with Jupiter, with the sun in a square to Jupiter. Okay, Mercury as well too, coming into that same square very soon, having to adjust your mindsets and the way that you think intellectually too about some things that have happened to you lately, to also get more wholeheartedly on board with the things that have happened in your life. Okay, As the sun's going to come off and Mercury, that square to Jupiter, they're also going to sextile Uranus. So as you're making some hard changes here in life, okay, so that you can have a better life for the future, and as you're processing everything that's happened to you lately, there could still be some unexpected things that do come up in regards to where you see your life going and who it is that you associate with. All right, with the sextile to Uranus coming in, and I think this is going to be huge because we do have the solar eclipse, which is going to happen pretty close as well to a sextile to Uranus, and of course the solar eclipse is in Aquarius. So I think there could be lots of unexpected things that start to come in out of the blue, especially with the sun coming into the spot here, just bringing up some stuff you weren't anticipating, I think, to help kickstart you on your journey. All right, that's going on. And then the last thing I want to mention, Mars here, also coming into a square with Neptune. So maybe some confusion here about how you act about some new thing you're doing, feeling uncomfortable about some new thing, but needing to continue to do some things that it is that you have not done to envision your life in a new way and to make some of the changes to let a new life in, so that you can hopefully at a later date, I think next month, start to settle into some of that stuff and make sense more of your life and move forward. Okay. So that's what I see there. Now for your card for the day, we do have the 10 of Wands. I think I got the 9 yesterday or recently. So this is, I kind of like it when they go in order. This to me is you're coming to a completion point. You're ending something in some way. Maybe that's why you're starting to readjust your perspective, okay? Because you're realizing that you've gone as far as you can go with something here. And I think you're realizing that as you're starting to pivot your life and see your life differently, that you're doing too much. You're taking too much on. And I think what this card is a message of today is to maybe just do less, to prioritize, to pick the things that are important to you and to stick with those so that you don't overwork yourself and so that you don't do too much coming in, okay? It's good to have passions and it's good to be excited about things, but sometimes you have to make sure that you're prioritizing and that you're doing the right thing since you can't do it all. This to me can also indicate, of course, the moon leaving Sagittarius and coming into Capricorn. In Sagittarius, we have tons of wands, tons of ideas, and tons of things we like to do, but Capricorn says you can't do everything, you know, and if the things you do, you have to do right. And so I think maybe that's what you're trying to figure out today, is after all of these new things have gone on, new ideas have come up, new ways of making sense of your life, you're going to have to choose here which idea to take to the end, which belief to really stick with that's best for you so that you can move forward. And I think if you can prioritize things and get some stuff off your plate here that's bogging you down, it's going to help you to move forward and to feel much better, at least at the nighttime today when the moon's in Capricorn, about where your life is going in some way. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.